Hey guys, welcome to this video on Chiron in Virgo. If you have Chiron in Virgo in your natal chart in astrology, this video is for you. I'm Cassandra the Saffron Sage, helping you use astrology to evolve. And first we're going to talk about what Chiron means, what it means in astrology, and then what it means in the sign of Virgo. You can use the timestamps below to go straight to the section of the video you'd like to see most. Chiron in astrology is the wounded healer. Chiron in mythology was a centaur, half man, half horse. He was known as the best centaur. He was known for his medicinal knowledge and his ability to heal. He was taken under his wing by Apollo because his mother abandoned him when he was young for what he looked like. So really, we see the wound happen in the story. Originally, that wound of abandonment. Now, not everyone's Chiron is abandonment, but the idea that you are not good enough in this respect. In Chiron's respect, it was his appearance. But what happened, he ended up being able to heal because of that wound. If his mother hadn't left him, he never would have been trained in medicine. So Chiron can be a place in our chart where we are more likely to be able to heal other people because we know the suffering that it took. You know, we know what other people go through. We know how bad it is. And how much we heal or how we choose to heal, that is really up to us. And it can take many different forms. So then Chiron ended up getting shot with a poison arrow and he couldn't heal himself. He tried. And he ended up choosing to give up his immortality because he was immortal. So he chose to give that up for Prometheus's freedom, and he ended up being placed among the stars, and that is how the story goes. And so really the theme that we see, what Chiron means in the natal chart, is it's a place where we have a restriction, something that we feel like we're blocked to, and also where energy is poured into it. So it's not just simply an obstacle in our life, but an obstacle in our life, a wound that continues to be activated whenever that pattern comes up until we choose to be aware of it and then consciously dismantle it. So Chiron really does take some conscious work, and you know, some of you watching this may have already come far on your Chiron wound. Some people learn this just through their life experience. The best way to use this video is to take what resonates and leave the rest, because I'll be giving kind of the most extreme cases for Chiron, and it's up to you to see, you know, where you fall on that spectrum, whether it is totally to the extreme or maybe just some of those energies. So that's important in every video because these are general, and to get more specific, we'd have to look at, you know, the house your Chiron is in, what the aspects to Chiron are, to really see the full picture of how the Chiron story shows up in your life. So let's move on to the video. So when Chiron is in Virgo, we see this wound of being wrong. So Virgo is all about wanting to be right, wanting to do things in the right order, wanting to do things well, wanting to purify and do things with a pure heart, do things with excellence. And so when Chiron is here, it restricts this energy in your life and it pours energy onto it. So potential manifestations here are just feeling like you're afraid you're going to get something wrong, and having that be such a strong feeling for you that you don't even want to do anything. You know, the fear of taking action because you're so convinced that it's not going to be right. And so for some people with Chiron and Virgo, this can stem from some kind of situation that made you feel like you were wrong just for being yourself. Like it's not okay to be you. It's not okay to be who you are. It's not okay to do things the way you do them. Sometimes this is from being like overly corrected too much, you know, or treated like, I think of like that most extreme example would be like a child actor or a child, what are they called? Those kids that do the pageants, you know, I can't think of what it's called, but like a pageant kid would be the exact total archetype of someone with Chiron and Virgo who was treated like, you are wrong for being yourself. We have to put a bunch of makeup on you just to make people like you. And if you're not fixed, no one will like you. Now, maybe the person's parent was saying this, or maybe they weren't, but this is the message that child got. So you get the message that you have been wrong for being you have been wrong for how you do things, and if you don't fix it, correct it, make it better, you're going to be wrong. Just the feeling of wrong is very, very strong with this placement. There can also be some challenges here with believing in your own abilities, your own capability. So this can show up as feeling like I can't make decisions, not trusting your own ability to discern information, because Virgo is all about, taking in data, analyzing the data, making the best decision based on the practical information. So when Chiron is here, it can put a restriction of that energy. So maybe it's hard for you to do that, or there's a belief that you can't. There's a belief that you can't make the right decision. Again, stemming from this fear of being wrong, like I'm gonna make the wrong choice. So I need to go get all these million different people telling me what to do. I need to hire someone to consult with on this. I need to ask someone else what to do here because I don't trust my own ability to look at the data, analyze it, and make the best decision. If you have Chiron and Virgo and this is a challenge for you, it's going to show up as like constantly relying on other people to tell you what to do. Not from a space of like, what do I want? What should I do with my life? But from a space of what is the next step? What is the next right choice that makes the most sense? Because I don't feel like I can figure that out. This can also show up as being slightly scatterbrained. This Chiron wound can also show up in the same kind of way as being a little bit scatterbrained, not really being able to feel like you can make sense of things. Just this general feeling. And it's not even confusion because that's not the right word here, but it's this feeling of fogginess, this feeling of, I just don't know what to do. So another potential manifestation of Chiron and Virgo is a feeling of shame, regret, or remorse around a decision they made in the past, or sometimes a series of decisions that they just can't let it go. They can't really let go of that internal feeling that I did the wrong thing. Occasionally, this can be a feeling of shame that's brought on by other people, where other people are saying you did something wrong and that's where it came from. But either way, it becomes internalized. And, that is what can lead to that continual feeling of, oh, now I'm afraid to be wrong because that happened before. Now, the healing path for this placement is to learn to be okay with your own decisions, learn to let it be okay that everyone makes mistakes, to really trust the process of life. So the healing path for Chiron and Virgo is to learn how to trust the process of life, to learn how to do your best and then accept whatever problems come from possibly, whatever choice you make, own the choice you make, let the life unfold, and then really bring the right use of that Virgo energy to learn from whatever happened, and then be able to use those lessons to let yourself off the hook and allow yourself to move on. It's also about finding a aligned way to use the energy of focusing your life, to bring your focus to more of the positive, especially for those Virgo, Chiron people who just feel like everything's wrong all the time and have such a hard time, with optimism and with trust, because that's really the deep core issue. It's a trust thing. It's a feeling of faith that is lacking here. And so bringing that focus to what you want to have in your life, how to create more of it. I know it sounds kind of cliche, but for someone with Chiron and Virgo, this isn't a natural thing. This is something that has to be consciously created in your life, to consciously remind yourself to let go of that need to focus on what could go wrong or what is wrong, and bring your thought process to, how to bring all the little pieces together and create what you want to create. This can also show up for Chiron and Virgos who have challenges with scheduling, or, the ones who feel scatterbrained, is to, again, bring your focus to what you want to focus on. Bring balance to your mind, the order in which you do things. Bring balance to your own routines. Bring balance to the areas of life that you are, finding that Virgo energy is bringing you into self-criticism. Find ways to consciously dismantle that, to consciously see it, and release that need to be right, because that's what the feeling of being wrong is a deep down need to be right, to be perfect. And no one ever really is. No one ever really is. So for Chiron and Virgo, it's about knowing that to your core, right? Not just believing that no one's perfect, okay, I'm fine, but knowing that in your core, feeling into that, and being able to embody the energy of freedom, of trusting your own choices and trusting your own path and the next steps on it, with that inner innate knowing that nothing's ever going to be perfect. Life is always going to be something we reach toward. You know, there's always going to be another trophy. There's always going to be another mountain to climb. And it's about being able to be on that journey and to trust that the next step you're taking on that journey is the step for you. And for those Chiron and Virgo people, this isn't natural, so it has to be cultivated. And once it is, there is a possibility of really integrating everything you know, all the little things that you think about, into a cohesive whole. That's one healing potential of Chiron and Virgo. And there's also a compassion and an ability to help others with their own thought processes, with their own ability to release judgment or criticism, and really, you know, be there for people. Whether you do this in work or in just your life, you have this gift because of that suffering of understanding, like nobody else can, what it is like to feel shame, to feel wrong. And when this is healed, you have so much potential to help people see what's right about them. So that's what I have for Chiron and Virgo. Let me know in a comment below, you guys, if this resonated. I love hearing from you. You can also book a private reading with me using the link below. And don't forget to subscribe and hit that bell if you would like more videos like this. I do videos on astrology of your life purpose, your past lives, and your north and south node. So make sure you hit that subscribe button and that bell so you get the notifications when I put out new videos every week. And I will see you all in the next video.